Now, this is a subject very close to my heart. As a parent of two girls, one of whom is 16 and one of whom is 12, the 16-year-old had a trip down to London without either myself or my husband, her dad. And it's kind of nerve-wracking when you sort of release them onto the world on their own. But how safe do you feel when you're walking alone? It's not just teenagers, it's adults as well. Maybe you worry about someone else when they're out by themselves. Well, a firm in Norwich says its safety app can help with that. And it's been used by thousands of people since launching last year. Well, let's talk more about this with Callum Coombes. His company runs the Callie app. Morning, Callum.
Morning, Kirsteen.
Great name. Does the job, doesn't it? And we can see where it's come from.
Yeah, it's a catchy one. We wanted someone quite friendly.
It is, yeah, it works, doesn't it? What does the app do then? Tell us how it works.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, put simply, Callie is a free personal safety app. It's built by us as safety tech experts right here in Norfolk, and it's available on Android and iPhone. But to expand on that a little more, you really use it as part of just your normal day-to-day life to keep you that little bit more safer. You can add your friends and family as guardians. And then when you need a little bit more support, you can start what we call watch over me sessions. Now, for example, these can be, your kids getting on the train going to London, or it could be maybe it's 1 a.m. and you're getting your taxi home alone from a night out. And you just jump in the Callie app and you say, okay, I'm going to be getting that taxi home alone and it's going to take me 25 minutes. Then if you don't arrive home safely, Callie will notify your guardians, let them know where you are, and give them that nudge basically to check up on you.
I think
obviously within Callie.
Yeah. I think that's a fantastic idea because, you know, I'll confess, and I know a lot of people have this, and other people actually think it's really a bit creepy and not appropriate. But I have one of those apps where you can actually track your family members, so you can see where they are. And I usually just use it to make sure they've got to school on time, that they are actually in school when they should be in school. I sometimes check up on my husband and make sure he's left work when he said he was going to leave work. But when my daughter did go down to London, I did find myself kind of getting a bit addicted to kind of checking sort of every hour where she was and if she was okay. And you know, so it's a useful way of keeping people safe without sort of tracking them the whole time.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's one of the big things and one of the big reasons we've made these basically fixed time sessions. It's because, it's great to have someone's location. Like you say, you can kind of get addicted to watching them. But a lot of kids, teenagers especially, they don't want to be tracked 24/7. So to be able to put a 20-minute period, a 3-hour period where they say, okay, mum, can you keep an eye on me in this time and this time only, potentially, it kind of keeps that all time box. It gives them a sense of kind of control over their privacy, which I think is really, really beneficial to wanting to use a safety app like Callie.
And there's obviously a really serious side to this as well, in that you've designed this to help people who might be at risk of domestic abuse.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some really scary but success stories for Callie that it really has done its job. So one of our customers recently actually got in touch with us to let us know that Callie did prevent an assault. They were under threat, and they raised an alarm in Callie. And within Callie, we do have what's called Callie Plus. We work with ADT, and you can actually have a professional emergency responder respond in seconds to any alarm that you raise. So this individual raised an alarm through that. We got in touch with them. We dispatched the police directly to them within a few minutes, and we actually managed to de-escalate and prevent an assault and get that individual home safely. So yeah, these situations are happening every day. So it's amazing to see that in a relatively short amount of time, Callie is already making such measurable differences to people's lives in those situations.
Yeah, that is incredible. How does that make you feel, knowing that it's achieved that?
It's amazing. I mean, for anyone that's developed an app or a system like Callie or anything, it's a long road. It's taken us 2 to 3 years to get it right. As you can imagine, it's a safety app. It has to work every single time. So to be at the point now where it's live and it's, keeping people safe, and we're getting that feedback from people that we're preventing assaults, there's nothing better to get you up in the morning than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have the current figures of how many people are currently using it?
I think it's coming up to around 4,000 users now in the past 6 months or so that Callie's been live. So it's starting to get a bit of good traction now. It's live across the UK and Ireland, and the majority of our users actually are in Norfolk and actually based at the UEA, as we launched at the UEA at the Freshers Fair last year.
Brilliant. So how can we get our hands on it? How do we get hold of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to try Callie for yourself, it's completely free. Just search Callie Personal Safety. That's Callie Personal Safety on the Android or Apple App Store. Or you can head to our website, which is getcallie.com. We've actually got some really cool safety jewelry launching later this year, which I'd recommend you take a look at because we've been working on that for a fair few years with some jewelry designers.
Safety jewelry, how does that work? Without giving everything away now, because we'll probably get you back on, this time next year to tell us about it. But how does that work?
Yeah. So for the past few years, we've been working with some jewelry designers to build some of the smallest Bluetooth jewelry that actually exists, but to make a safety device that somebody actually wants to wear, something that looks good. It isn't just like a big chunk of plastic you put in your bag or your pocket. It's a small, slimline, real gold or silver bracelet that you can tap, and then it raises the alarm through the Callie app. So if you want to wear that as on a night out or something like that, it looks good. It doesn't look like a safety device, basically. That's
incredible. That's very James Bond, actually. Callum, thank you ever so much. It's a bit cute. There's a bit of Q going on there as well, isn't there? Callum, thank you ever so much. Lovely to hear from you. Callum Coombes, who runs the Callie app. That's quite incredible. It's like a very own Q living in Norfolk. That's mad. I love that.
We should have stuck that in the Blue Peter, shouldn't we, with it? Things of the future.
Things that will be invented in the future. It's like, brilliant. Yeah, my teenage daughter's got about 5 different piercings in her ears. So if you can find something like that fits into a tiny little stud, we're away.